Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Found an Ancient Power in the Scroll of Sealing. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was, created from the God Tree over on Anime King 3 guys, and enjoy that. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode over on Anime King of What If Naruto Was Trained by Hashirama before Chunin exams, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help in your sports, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off. As Naruto continued to train with his new technique as Kurama taught him the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Upon teaching Naruto that, Naruto was overjoyed, as he realized he could learn a lot more in less amount of time. So with that, he split his clones to go to work, as some of his clones started to work on water manipulation with his gravity force. Naruto clones were rather eccentric, as they had a thought and will of their own. So they start to think about new ways to improve their technique and new ways of using their power, which was rather beneficial for Naruto. So they train and train. As Naruto started to recollect on the people that he left back in Konoha, as he figured it was time that he head back to the village after a while. After all, he's been out here for a very long time now. A few days, but, well, given the circumstances that he left under, the old man must be worried about him. But before that though, their siblings were heading out that night, as they told Naruto to watch over the shop while they were gone, to handle the bandit group. As Naruto was lying on the roof as he was speaking with Kurama, as Naruto was able to enter through Minato's memories. Upon entering Minato's memories, he saw a lot. Him in the academy, him looking towards a red-headed girl, and everything. As Naruto also saw the fourth Hokage first kill, as he felt the feelings that Minato felt at that very moment, as they were rather strange to him because he's never experienced like that before. It was then that a few bandits arrived in the village as they wanted to burn the village, as Naruto was angered by that as he moved with so much speed. The people did not even know that they were outside, as it took them a moment or second to do so. After doing that, Naruto took care of the bandits as he tied them up and left them to the mercy of the people there before opening the fire. He then rushed off towards the main camp where they were, as the bandits did this because it was Shizuka she was spying on their place, and their boss had the man come here to burn children, as that angered Naruto. Shizuka and her brother saw Naruto as he flew through the air. They wondered what he was doing here. That is when they saw him went up. Then he came down with so much force as he obliterated the entire landscape, tearing apart every single thing in his drop. As the boss man came out, he was not the war beast as he saw Naruto, but looking Naruto's eyes scared him. But he gained his confidence. He tried to fight back, but Naruto put him in his place by breaking him apart and lifting him off the ground. The man then said something that Naruto was just like him. To who he was talking about, Naruto was not sure, or did he care, as he launched the man through hundreds of yards of trees and massive stone columns. Him and Shizuka then went on to obliterate the entire camp, as they tore everything apart. Naruto was exhausted once he was finished because he summoned a massive tornado to shred everything to pieces. So with that, they arrived back to the camp. The people were all cheering as they were happy, as they started to call him all sorts of names, but one of them sticked out, Superman, as he liked it. Later that night though, Naruto was thinking about the people of Konoha, were the ones that cared about him, so like the old man, and not to mention Gigi as well. Given the circumstances he left under, he decided it was due time that he returned back to the village, as he wasn't sure how he was gonna say to his siblings. He knew it was stupid to just leave like that, but he was not sure how he was gonna say goodbye to them. Shizuka though was downstairs as she saw him, as she asked him where he was going, as he knew that it wouldn't be right to lie, seeing that he wouldn't be coming back, as he told her he would be leaving. And not like one of his training leaving. So yeah guys, basically that's what I left off. You guys can switch across and play check of yourself, and also remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Created from the God Tree. And enjoy that guys over on Anime King 3. And over on Anime King I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Trained by Hashirama before the Chunin exam, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember if you're new to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to we begin this new episode? Let's get right into it guys. Why do you want to leave? Asked Shinji. Because I want to return where I came from. I'm from Konoha. I stumbled here because I need some clues and a place to crash for a while. Because I need to train my powers. For a little bit. And it turned out to be longer than I expected. Look Naruto, we're not going to prevent you from leaving. But at very least we want to know why. Sit down. Talk to us, she said. As Naruto blinked. Twice. After a few seconds he sat down in the chair. As the two siblings looked towards him. Well, to give you a sense of context, let me start with the last 2 years of my life. And how I got here. As Naruto started to tell them. Time skip. And that's pretty much how my life went for the past 2 years. It hasn't been much different from the past few earlier years. So Naruto paused. Why do you guys look like you're holding back tears? Shizuka moved towards him as she hugged him, as she started to stroke his hair. Okay, while I appreciate the physical contact, said Naruto, why are you hugging me out of nowhere? She sniffed as she looked into his eyes. Out of nowhere? It's not out of nowhere. You told us how you were orphaned, without having no idea who your parents were. You have been living by yourself for 5 years. You were treated like an outcast your entire life, and despite your struggles, to be known, only few acknowledge you. And even with all of that, you're still able to smile like you're living a joyous life. If anything, I wish I had known you earlier, to treat you better than I have. Despite leaving the ceiling of the Kyuubi out of the equation, to which the fox agreed, Naruto's life was not that happy, and it made the siblings rather sad at hearing the situation revolving his life. But despite that, he considered it as an uneasy life, not a saddening one. Sure, he was a little jealous and angry at children who took their parents' love for granted. And he always he dreamed of having a family that loves him. But due to the treatment that was given to him, he had become a bit desensitized. But you treat me well. You gave me shelter and clothing and meals for free. I don't really know if you can top that, said Naruto, with a smile on his face. As Shinji chuckled, we could have topped that, kid. We could have given you a treatment far better than the one that we gave you, or the one that your village gave you for that matter. Thanks for the thought guys, but I really don't want to use your compassion to get better treatment or something like that. That is why I never told you about my life before. Well, and the fact that you never asked in the first place. Shizuka chuckled with the same tone her brother used. Well, true, she said. With all that has happened, we kinda forgot about it, she said. Well, that's it, said Naruto. And that's why I want to go back. As he chuckled a bit, while the old me would say I want to become Hokage and prove those who look down upon me wrong. But now I want to go back to Konoha. And despite the majority of those who look down upon me and dislike me, I have several people that consider me as a friend, and I don't want to leave them, said Naruto. What about us though? Asked Shinji. As Shizuka spoke before Naruto could say anything, you consider us as your friends. But as much as you like to stay, you can't. And you don't want to leave behind those you left in the village. Yeah, said Naruto. As Shizuka sighed, alright, she said. We understand your reason. You're free to go, she said. As she looked a bit sad by that. As she moved in and hugged him rather tightly. As Naruto hugged her back. As Shinji chuckled a bit. Though, your new fans will be rather upset that you've gone. And not to mention, it will be rather boring around here. Well, tell them that Superman hometown need his assistance, said Naruto. Shizuka chuckled. That name stick with you, huh? Well, it was the name that they called me here from now on. So why not, said Naruto, as he smiled. Time skip. Thank you for everything, said Naruto. You're welcome. Shizuka and changed his head. As Naruto started to float off. As they waved goodbye to him. As Naruto was flying so far he started to see the place looking smaller and smaller. He will miss the place, but he had to go back to Konoha. As Naruto shot forward in the air, as he was gone, as they felt the force as he boomed off, back to the village. Time skip. It was dead night in Konoha. The times where kids are sleeping, and parents are resting. Some of the shinobis of Konoha, mostly chonins, are still patrolling the village. It's their duty, of course, as they didn't really notice something flew above the village. As it came down rather quickly and landed in the less frequent patrol area of the village. As Naruto Uzumaki landed with his new moniker Superman. Though he would be rather called by his old name, thank you very much, that moniker was a bit too much for him. As he landed in his district, looking up towards his apartment. As he walked up the stairs arriving to his apartment. While he could just fly up there, it made him feel more normal. He didn't know why, but, well, as he stopped in front of his door. Damn it. I lost my key, said Naruto. I think I remember something falling down. When I was flying towards a crystal. I don't, said Kurama. I didn't think that it was important though. As Naruto sighed. I'll just ask the landlady to give me a new copy in the morning, said Naruto. As he stretched his hand out. A clicking sensation could be heard as Naruto used his telekinesis to unclick the lock. Well, that seemed much better, said Naruto. As he entered the room and moved towards the bed, the door closing by itself with his telekinesis. As he flipped on the light, Naruto paused. His apartment was rather messy. Really horrible, to be exact. Oh yeah, I did live like this, right? Said Naruto. Damn, this place is a wreck. I mean, I'm not the one to talk about neatness, but this place is incredibly mortifying, said the Kyuubi. Yeah, I'm surprised at myself as well, said Naruto. Him getting a more level head. From taking the fourth Hokage's memories and changing his attitude, the place was horrible looking to him right now. As Naruto stood in the center as everything started to lift up in the room. Trunks started to go into the trash. After 10 minutes, the furniture, everything, was in pristine condition. Seeing that he had cleaned everything, the dust and everything was removed. It looked far better to what he had come to see. As he went to the cupboard, as he pulled one of his instant ramen, as he poured water from the tap using his telekinesis, as he poured into the pot, as he uncovered the instant ramen and light the stove with nothing but his telekinesis. You know, you gotta use your limb at least sometime. While your technique is rather, well, handy, if you use it for every mundane thing, you'll become rather lazy, like the Naras, said Kurama. Relax, I won't be like them, said Naruto. Besides, if you think about it, this power can be a substitute for my limbs as well, like more versatile and useful. So it would be a waste for me not to use it. I see your reason, kid, but my point still stands. Yeah, I guess you're right, said Naruto. As he made his way over towards the stove after, the water was unboiling as he poured into the instant ramen cup. Meanwhile, brown eyes under the cat mask watched the apartment. Light was on and someone was inside. In the apartment that she has been watching for the past few days. After spending some days being ordered to observe Naruto Uzumaki's home to see if he returned, Yuji Uzuki had lost hope. She thought that he was gone and he would never return. Haruka was worried about his well-being, but no one could find him. But she was surprised as she had saw him enter his apartment like nothing had happened. It was really him. But is what she saw correct? She had looked through the window and she saw him levitate the things inside. He stood in the center of the room and everything lifted by itself. And he cleaned everything by not even moving a single finger, not to mention the tap turned on and pour water into the kettle. He was using some unnatural force that she could not see. Putting that aside, she disappeared to inform the Hokage about his return. As for Naruto, as he finished his ramen, he stretched, but he was still not sleepy. In fact, he felt like it was the afternoon. Given his recent changes, he did not need much sleep. As he started to levitate things at random, as he started to wonder what he should do next, as he started to float through the air, moving around like an astronaut in a spaceship, as he stuck to the ceiling, as he looked down towards his floor, as he just stayed up there. After a few hours of not doing much, he had summoned one of his clones and talked to him. It was rather enlightening because the clone, while it mimicked his personality, it talked about completely different things. It was like a different person entirely. As he decided he should take a walk outside, as he felt more peaceful in the open space, as a fresh breeze hit his face, as he stood there relaxing in the warm breeze. He hopped up on the windowsill as he sat down, just taking in the fresh air. He spent an hour or two there before he went back inside and stretched. As he lay down, he didn't know when, but he ended up falling asleep. As Naruto saw himself, well not him, rushing through the trees. I can't believe it. He must have been planning this for the longest time. That is when the seal is weakest, when she's giving birth. Damn it, I should have seen this coming. As he flashed through the trees, his white cloak flapping behind him. You will regret what you have done, masked man. Don't worry, Kushina. I'll be there soon. You and Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto was snapped from his thoughts. Well, not a thought. He was dreaming. As Naruto looked towards the envoy that was standing there, he knew her, but he didn't know her real name. She was one of the few that watched him when he was younger. Nico-san. Took you long enough, she said. How long was I asleep, said Naruto. 4 hours at most. It is 7 AM right now. As Naruto, sleeping such a short amount of time to him, it was just seconds. Well, as he picked himself up. Do you need something, Nico-san, he asked. Yes, the Hokage really wants to speak with you. After your disappearance. As Naruto smiled. Yeah, I'm sure he is, said Naruto as he got to his feet. By the way, do you know what happened? I remember waiting for Mizuki when the crystal was as he trailed off. I believe it's a privilege of the Hokage to give you a full answer. But I can tell you this, your teacher Mizuki was trying to set you up. Should have known, said Naruto. Thank you for telling me, Nico-san, he said. I'll head off immediately. As Naruto took off. As he created a dust cloud as he moved because he whipped through the air so fast, shocking Nico. What the hell? Just when she was about telling him she was sunshine him there. But from look of things, he doesn't really need one. When Naruto arrived towards the front of the tower, he stopped and floated downwards. That was a bit too much, wasn't it, kid? As Naruto saw several individuals looking at him, in shock to him landing from the sky. What is a bit too much, Grandma, said Naruto. With that impromptu flight, it was a scare that on the woman, wasn't it? Not scare. I just thought it would be fun to incite some reaction in someone who's never seen something like that before. What? I thought out of everyone, you would approve. I didn't say I didn't approve, I just thought. You of all people had standards that won't allow you to do such things. But I'm glad that I was wrong, said Krama. Glad you feel that way, Krama. Well, she did interrupt my dream or memory viewing. Hey, what was all that about, said Naruto. I saw it as well. It was a special memory. One that involved a man that made all of this happen, Krama said. Then you do understand that we will talk about this, right? Said Naruto. I do. But for now, let's go meet the old man first. As Naruto arrived, the secretary turned towards him with an inquisitive gaze. You're looking at me because you feel you recognize me from somewhere. Am I correct? Said Naruto. The young secretary was flustered because of caught being staring. You notice, forgive me for staring. But yes, I do feel like I know you from somewhere. I get that a lot. Hey, can I go inside? Nico told me that the Hokage expect me. Yes. You may go inside, she said. Meanwhile, Harrison was waiting for the boy that disappeared ever since the Mizuki incident. When he heard from Yujiro that Naruto was back, he was happy, knowing that the boy was safe. She also mentioned that Naruto had some rather strange powers. He was able to move things without touching them. That is what I saw. At least that is what she saw, him tied in his apartment without even moving from the center of the room. Not to mention making himself some ramen by just moving the water tap. Harrison knew that his envoy would not lie to him like that. So someone or something must have given Naruto power. He had never heard of that power before. And he was a professor. And he had known everything, almost everything through the elemental nation. As Naruto entered, as he was slightly taller, not to mention his body was more muscular, as he was wearing jeans. black shirt with a star on the center of his chest, and a pair of black strapping shoes. Due to his surprise at Naruto's growth, it has only been a couple of days, and Naruto has grown so much which doesn't really make sense. He did not even notice that Yuji wasn't even there. "Hello, old man," said Naruto, "it's been a while," as he closed the door behind him. "Well, yes, it has. What exactly happened to you?" "I changed, to say the very least. I think that is why you want to bring me here, to have some answers." Harrison was caught off guard by the way Naruto talked. The way he was so calm. Naruto never used to be this calm, not to mention the way he talked reminded him of. As Harrison glanced towards a photo of Minato on the wall, before he focused back on Naruto. "Yes, that's the reason why. When you touched that crystal, when you woke up, you flew off. But you were different, possessed. Some might say your eyes were red and your voice was deep. Demonic. What exactly happened?" "Kurama happened," said Naruto. "Kurama?" said Harrison, raising an eyebrow. In response, Naruto pointed towards his stomach. Harrison blinked several times. "You name your stomach Kurama?" As Naruto blinked. Before he blinked once again. Before he pulled the shirt up to show his belly. As Harrison narrowed his gaze. The seal. What happened?" "As I said, Kurama happened." "Who is Kurama?" asked Harrison. "The Kyuubi," said Naruto. There was a moment of awkward, tense silence. As Harrison's mind went into shock. You know?" "He told me. Kurama, that is. I know that he was sealed in sacking by the fourth Hokage. And I know that is the reason why most of the villagers see me as a plague," said Naruto. "And that you've been keeping the secret away from me for a very, very long time." Before Harrison could apologize or defend the fourth action, Naruto continued. "Rest assured, I don't blame you, nor the fourth Hokage. It was something that could not be prevented. And as a Hokage, he took the responsibility to save this village," said Naruto, "even though he had to condemn someone. And we cannot reset time, so there's no point of arguing to undo it." Harrison was shocked even more. Just what in the holy hell happened to Naruto? The way he talked, the way he carried himself. It doesn't seem like Naruto anymore at all. Could he possibly be dealing with a impersonator? It's only been 4 days, and yet he was so different. What happened to you, Naruto? You've matured very quickly, I might add. It's only been 4 days since then. Well, several things that happened are the reason for my change. They were somewhat painful, but nothing I can't handle, said Naruto. "And what is that?" Harrison asked. Naruto held out his hand, the ashtray and Harrison's dex lifted up, before the ash poured out of it, as it swirled. Harrison paused as he watched, as Naruto twitched his finger ever so often as the thing swirled, before going back in the ashtray and settling back on his dex. It took Harrison a moment for his mind to understand what the hell just happened. "Power of an unknown origin and limit," said Naruto. "In case you're wondering about its ability, it came from the crystal I found in the Forbidden Scroll. I apologize for taking that without your consent. It changed me in ways that you can't even imagine. It changed how my chakras being circulated, and in turn it enabled my mental connection with Kurama, or the Kyuubi." "I see," Harrison said. "When I saw how you were bleeding from touching the crystal, I expected the worst. But it seems you gained something better." "That I did," said Naruto. "But I have to ask you this. What exactly is the crystal? Even Kurama doesn't know about its existence, or how it can give such an ability. But I expect the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, must have known, since he's the one that wrote the letter. Talking about that part of the scroll," said Naruto. "To whoever it may concern, never open the seal. And if you do, severe consequences will befall you," Harrison said, repeating the word. "Hashirama Sensei wrote that when he sealed away the crystal. Only a few can unseal it. You have to have the requirements. And let me guess, that requirement include me. So what exactly it is?" "The chakra pattern of a Uzumaki," Harrison said. "The seal was made by Mito Uzumaki, Hashirama Sensei's wife. She designed it so it can only be opened by one of her relatives. And you are the last of the Uzumaki clan. Kurama mentioned her once. Mito Uzumaki. He said that she was my great aunt." Pausing for a moment to digest the Kyuubi equal Kurama part. "Yes," Harrison said. "Yes, she was. Well, the story of the crystal. It was found by a miner. In a cave settlement, there was a lot of them. Some of the miners decided to keep some for themselves. They believed that it was valuable, like perhaps gold or amethyst. But after a couple of days, the workers who did not get their share of the crystal reported their findings directly towards the daimyo of Heinekuni, and not to mention the ones that had kept it for themselves, started to experience some state of psychosis. Their mental state was slowly degrading. It became so bad that it started to be a problem throughout the entire land of Heinekuni. Hoshiyama Sensei believed that it was because of their small amount of chakra, but when he got one and touched it, he felt a great energy coming from said crystal. He said it was like he was interacting with an object made from pure energy, to the point that even touching the physical form of the crystal, it felt wrong to him. When Sensei was asked by the daimyo if it was valuable, he said that it was better if it was sealed away. I was one of the few that was tasked to seal away the mine, but Sensei had discovered that it was not the only one, as there was another mine. He had followed the trails, and he had discovered it before any miners could discover it, so they wouldn't be exposed. For several months, we scoured the lands and destroy them, seeing what they could do to a weaker man. It would become a problem once again in the land of Heinekuni if it was not all destroyed, so we made sure to get rid of them. What exactly happened to the man from the first crystal deposit, said Naruto? Some of them that was exposed sometime after we had found out recovered after daily therapy, but some of them were too far gone to be saved. In the end, the mines were destroyed, leaving destroyed cave-ins. But Sensei kept that last crystal that you found. He believed it to be the last one left in the world. He had the full intention to destroy it, but his wife, Mito Uzumaki, said that it would be wise to keep it somewhere safe instead, as she had a feeling that it should not be destroyed. And a couple of decades later, one of her relatives went and stole a scroll where she locked the crystal away, said Naruto, finishing for the old man. Hiruzen chuckled. True, he said. It's something that I can say is a freakish coincidence, given that you're similar to her, as she was also a Jinjulke of the same Biju. There's no possible way that she could have known that this crystal would empower you instead of destroying you. Well, she said that she had a feeling, so I'm not sure. Some things are just that freaky, I guess, said Naruto, as Hiruzen laughed one more time. But tell me, Naruto, how has the crystal effect been different to you? How have you matured so quickly? And how does the Kyuubi involve in all of this? What is it planning? Naruto frowned a bit, not liking the way he referred to Kurama. I assume by it, you mean Kurama. Let me warn you first, Jiji. He doesn't like to be called something instead of a living being. I know that you don't mean the former, but he doesn't take it that way. I prefer to be called with the pronoun of a human, said Kurama. He said that he preferred to be called a he, said Naruto. Naruto, are you sure about this? Bijus aren't known to be someone, said Naruto, cutting him off, or something in most people's cases that cannot be trusted. The lesser you know, the more you assume the negative. My great aunt Mito treated Kurama to the best of her abilities when she was tasked as a Jinjulke, not to mention the second Jinjulke, Kushina Uzumaki, treated him the same way. If they found him to be trustworthy, I don't see why I cannot. Naruto noticed Hiruzen flinch at the second name, Kushina Uzumaki, but he quickly spoke. I assume that told you, said Hiruzen. Only their names and the clans that they belong to. That showed that they were my family, said Naruto, as Hiruzen relaxed a bit, as Naruto noticed that. But he continued. But let me tell you how I end up different. Well, I don't know. From what Kurama can say, my body reacts different to the energy for some reason. As of how I mature this fast, let me put it in a nutshell. It's a slight mental problem, and Kurama catching all of this is that he wants to help. Help? Said Hiruzen. He saw my mistreatment here from the villagers as something I don't deserve, so he guided my body towards the crystal mine and absorbed all the ability into me, enhancing the ability I already possessed from the small crystal in the Forbidden Scrolls, said Naruto. So that is what happened that time. He controlled your body and make you flow away. As Naruto nodded, because of what the crystal did, he detected a large crystal settlement. As I said, he let me absorb all the energy and trained me for 3 days. And now, here I am. But where did you stay for those days? Asked Hiruzen. Naruto smiled. A pair of siblings housed me, and they treated me very well. Harrison's expression softened as he saw how much Naruto smiled, as he was happy for Naruto, given the fact that he wasn't treated well by the villagers here, so that made him happy. Very well. As much as I want to say that it's dangerous to give their trust to a Biju, it looks like you can bear the responsibilities for yourself. Though, know that you knew why you were ostracized in the village. Let me just say that as a leader of Konoha, not as the old man that you knew, I am truly sorry for how you were treated, said Harrison as he bowed his head. Though it's unnecessary, I thank you for your apology. Is there anything else, Gigi? Oh yes, due to the question of the teachers, for the past couple of days regarding Mizuki, the academy was put on hold. He glanced towards the clock, and I believe that the team assignment should be going off in a few hours. You will be there. Naruto raised his eyebrow. I thought I didn't qualify because of the test, he said. Well, you failed the test because of their inability to do the clone jutsu. The rest of them was well done, according to Iruka. He had asked when you return that you will be given the title of Genin, not due to the formal test, but of how easily you snuck in and stole that stroll away. So it's about how I show my ability in a more practical sense of the word, isn't it? Said Naruto. Let's just say it's one of the very many loopholes available to me as a Kage. He then took something from his jaw as he pulled it out, a dark blue cloth with a headband on it. You are a Genin of Konoha now, Naruto Uzumaki. As Naruto took the headband. Thanks, Gigi, he said. That will be all, Naruto, he said, that smile. And I would like you to show me this power sometime. As Naruto nodded as he left the office. A couple hours later, as Naruto stared at the crimson door leading towards the classroom, he was supposed to arrive 10 minutes ago. But he went to his apartment first and took what little money he had and searched for some food, as it was rather shocking because people weren't glaring at him, and not to mention he was able to buy some food, and they didn't overcharge him. Returning back towards looking at the door, he didn't hear anyone talking inside. It seems Iruka didn't arrive yet. More time for him to take a breather and calm himself. Hey, why are you acting like this, kid? Asked Kurama. Are you scared to enter or something? Kurama said. Think about it, despite me being gone for 3 days, mostly 4, and experiencing a lot, I am still the same loud, brash person to these guys that keeps on going around screaming that he's gonna become the best Hokage ever. To them I have not changed, said Naruto. There will be a lot of judgmental staring, a lot of whispering, and a lot of questions from those that are willing to ask. Once I open this door, their attentions will all turn towards me, something I need to prepare for. That's very over-analytical of you. Take my advice. Get the hell in there. And don't overthink it. It's not really that important. Come on, just relax yourself for a change. Alright, geez, said Naruto as he opened the door. As the kids all turned towards him. Wait, who is that? Huh? How old is that guy? Is he here to be placed in a team as well? Wow, he's big. Is he your teacher? I've never seen him before. Hey, he looks familiar. He looks kind of cute. As Naruto paused, where the hell did that came from? Their mouth was not moving, but he heard the voices. Was he hearing their thoughts? No, that was interesting. He wanted to stop being the center of attention, so he made his way. As he sat down, not really looking where he was going or who he was sitting beside. As the boy beside him though was staring at him. As Naruto glanced towards him. Why? Are you looking at me like that? Nothing, the boy said, turn away. Well, that doesn't sound like nothing, Sasuke, Naruto thought. As most people start to focus on him though, despite him sitting down, as he looked so familiar, as they couldn't put their finger on it. As Shikamaru, his friend, was sleeping, he doesn't even notice he arrived. As Choji and Kiba looked at him with mild curiosity and bewilderment. This is kind of amusing action, Naruto thought. Suddenly, the door opened up, as 2 girls seemed to be fighting to get here first. As the pink hair one lost to the blonde hair one by a small amount, but no one to say anything. They were too loud to deal with. As the pink hair one came up, she paused as she looked at him. As she was surprised, but she controlled herself. Excuse me, would you mind giving this chair to me? I want to sit here, she said. As Naruto glanced towards the pink hair girl. For what reason do you want to sit here, he asked. I want to sit here beside Sasuke-kun because I won my fight with Inu Pig, so it's only right that I sit here, she said. As Naruto realized that he felt nothing for Sakura at all. He used to have a crush on her, but now It just felt so stagnant, like, well, something just seemed off. As he focused back on her, calmly he turned towards Sasuke. Hey, would you like her to sit here? Naruto asks. No, said Sasuke. Sakura's eyes widened, as Naruto found the whole situation rather amusing. I would like to give it to you, but I believe I have no power over this matter. He's the boss. You see, whatever he says goes, said Naruto, as he pointed towards Sasuke. Sasuke looked towards Naruto in confusion, but eventually he smirked a bit. As Ino started to laugh, so did everyone else, as Sakura started out. But Sasuke-kun, she was cut off as Aruka entered the class. As he saw Naruto as they met each other gaze, Aruka's eyes widened in shock, but he calmed himself as he would speak to the boy later on the matter. And how has he changed so much in just 4 days? Alright everyone, take your seats. It's time I announce the names on your teams. As everyone sat down. As he went from 1 to 6, there was no one really important on team 1 to 6. Until he arrived to team 7. Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha. Yes! Sakura screamed. As she quieted back down, with a big smirk glaring at everyone, with a triumphant glare. And Naruto Uzumaki, your sensei will be Kakashi Hatake. A girl with pale eyes and lavender hair lifted her hand. But I thought that Uzumaki-kun didn't pass the test, she said. He did pass the test, but not a formal one that you guys participated in. Let's just say the Hokage acknowledged him and named himself. What is this test? Asked Shikamaru. It's a secret test. It was something that he had taken for himself, and he got the acknowledgement of Hiruzen Sama because of it. But where is he? Said Kiba. He's right here, said Naruto. As the whole class turned towards him, it took them 2 seconds. What? They screamed. It took them another second to mob him and ask him many questions. Everyone, sit down, Haruka said. I know that he has changed a lot, but that is not a reason to just attack him like you were doing. Show some restraint. Now, I'm going to finish the rest of the roster. Dope. What happened to you? Said Sasuke. You will have plenty of time to ask me. We're teammates after all, right? Said Naruto. Sasuke grunted. As Naruto usually finds his Sasuke behavior annoying, but he now finds it amusing. Strange. As the rest of the names were called out and listed off. Afterwards, the Jonin senses arrived. As Naruto saw a woman with red lipstick, and her eyes were a deep crimson as well, and a bearded man that was smoking as he came for Team 10 and Team 8. As slowly but surely everyone filed out, as Aruka called Naruto down to his decks. You mind telling me what happened? Well, a lot happened since you last saw me, said Naruto. But let's just say, as Naruto pointed his finger out, and carved a word in Aruka's decks. A secret. As Aruka chuckled a bit, surprised by what Naruto just did. How about I treat you some ramen and you tell me the story? I think JJ owe you that one. But judging from the look on your face, he didn't tell you the whole story. But I'll take you up on your offer once I'm free, said Naruto. Aruka patted his shoulder. Well, best of luck to you. I'm glad that you're alright. Thanks, said Naruto. As Aruka left, Sasuke turned his chair towards Naruto. So tell me, what happened to you? He said. Patience is not one of your virtues, is it? I thought, with dealing with Sakura and Ino, and the rest of your fangirls pestering you all the time, would give you some kind of patience. Hey! I resent that remark. Besides, you're one to talk, you always annoy me every time, Naruto, said Sakura. Who gives you the right to say I'm annoying to Sasuke-kun? He doesn't right. Do you, Sasuke-kun? As Sasuke looked towards Sakura, before he turned back to Naruto. I think you have a point, he said. See? He doesn't. What I meant to say, said Sasuke as he looked towards Sakura. I have developed a shred of patience after dealing with you and Ino, considering that I no longer desire to pull my hair out until I'm bald. As Sakura was speechless. As Naruto was the one to speak, then I thought you'd have waited a bit longer before you asked. We are sitting in the empty room waiting for a sensei who's late. This is the best time to ask. Point taken. Alright, let me start with... They were cut off, there was a door open. As a man entered, he looked to be in a bad mood, as his right eye seemed to be tilted in a frown. His hair was leaning to the left as it was silver. Most of his face was covered by a cloth, and his headband. He studied them for a moment before he spoke. My first impression of you are... He pointed towards Sakura, bubblegum, cheerleader. Then Sasuke, scowly, constipated. He then pointed towards Naruto, Mr. Hidden Depths. My name is Kakashi, and I'm in a bad mood. Meet me on the rooftop. As he vanished. What's his problem? Said Sakura. As the group made their way, Sasuke paused his step at the door as he realized that Naruto did not come with them. Where the hell was he? He was gone? As he noticed a large window open. Meanwhile, well, no, that's new. You're not surprised I can fly, said Naruto as he looked towards Kakashi. I was briefed by the Hokage about you. Considering that you can move things in your mind, I'm not surprised you can fly. And it was he that ordered me not to be late, or else something really bad was gonna happen. Something would happen, he said. So that is why you're rude to us. You work her, said Naruto. Yes. Though it does not change my first impression of you, and your teammates though. Well, it was a bit blunt in my opinion. Most people don't like that, said Naruto. Well, I'm not here to meet nice no all the time, no am I? True, said Naruto. Last time I saw him, he wasn't this tall. And now he's so calm. Seems like Hokage-sama is true. And he now look a lot like him. Know that he's this way. It's only a matter of time before they realize who you really are, Naruto. A couple of seconds later, the other teammates came. How did you arrive up here so quickly, said Sasuke. Oh, that means I didn't use the way that you were using. What? Alright, you can socialize later. Three of you, sit down. I'll go first. My name is Kakashi. What I like to do is read books, particularly those that are made by Jiraiya-sama. What I dislike is those who abandon their friends, especially those who try to rationalize it, saying that it is for the mission. My dreams are my own concern and not yours. Your turn, as he pointed towards Naruto. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like a lot of things, such as ramen. There are things that I hate, like those who view themselves above others because of their ego and not their skills. My dream is to become as strong as I can, to achieve great things and help those in need. Kakashi smiled under his mask as he nodded. He turned towards Sakura. Your next cheerleader, he said. My name is Sakura Haruno. I like... As she giggled, she glanced towards Sasuke. My dream is to... As she giggled some more, she then turned towards Naruto. I hate Naruto Baka, she said. As she expected him to look dejected, saying that she wasn't able to say anything. But he wasn't even looking at her. He doesn't really care. Kakashi turned towards Sasuke. You, he said. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I don't like anything in particular. I have only one thing that I want to do. My dream, no, my purpose is to revive my clan to its past glory and kill a certain man. As Naruto looked curious at that, well, now that the introduction is over, let me tell you what we're gonna do. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, meet me at Training Ground 7 and we will begin our test. Test? We already took the test, said Sakura. That was an initiation to see if you have the potential. The test that you're gonna be doing is to see if you have what it takes to perform under the stress that a real shinobi is able to perform in the outside world. Prepare yourself accordingly. With that, he flashed away. As Sakura turned towards Sasuke and asked him if he wanted to go to a date, which he rejected rather instantly. Hey Sasuke, said Naruto, as Sasuke looked towards him. You still interested in knowing what happened to me? Are you gonna tell me? Sasuke asked. If you're interested in ramen, it's called Ichiraku Ramen, said Naruto. I'll meet you there. As Naruto jumped off, the both of their eyes widened as they rushed over, as they saw Naruto on the ground. He looked completely fine. They were surprised. Just what the hell happened to the dope? True to what he said, Sasuke found him eating a bowl of ramen already. So you came, Sasuke. Along with Sakura as well, I might add, said Naruto. Sasuke wanted to follow her Sasuke-kan, but she also wanted to see how Naruto dropped from so far and was completely fine. Well, she followed me. Am I supposed to say no? Well, I see no harm in it, said Naruto, as Sakura sat down as well. So what do you guys want here, said Naruto. I'll pay, he said. I came here because you said you want to tell me what happened, not to eat. Besides, I'm not hungry. A growl could be heard as Sasuke glanced down toward his stomach, as Naruto burst out laughing, as Sasuke blushed in embarrassment, as Sakura stifled her giggles. Well, at least your body is honest, so tell me, what do you want to eat? Just give me what you're having, Sasuke said, in embarrassment. And you, Sakura, said Naruto. A bowl of Tatsuka ramen, she said. Toki, I am, said Naruto. right away as Naruto made the orders. Time skip, and that's my story, said Naruto. He left out the part about the fox. As the fox agreed with him, it's not wise to tell people his age about, well, what is really going on. The fox also don't like the Uchiha that well. He could feel hatred and anger seeping through his aura. Also, Naruto felt another source inside his body, and it was not Kurama. The source pitied Sasuke and hated how he had become a person full of hatred. What was it? He told the story rather vague. He didn't specialize what his power was, or how powerful he would become. But they got the gist of what he was saying. So you mean to tell us that right now you're what? A special case of a shinobi? You could say that, but if you want me to show you, wait until Kakashi gives us a test, said Naruto. I can see the difference in your body and your personality, but your abilities sound rather far-fetched, said Sakura. I changed from a strong little boy in 3 days' time. It's not impossible to believe that I got empowered from a special rock, said Naruto. Though I didn't tell you guys the whole story, so it's understandable why you don't fully believe it. As Naruto paid for the meals, as he got up along with his team. See you soon, Naruto, Ayam said. Will do, Ayam. As Naruto smiled at her, as Sakura noticed Ayam blush. Wait, don't tell me. As Naruto walked to the stand, but Sasuke wanted to learn more. Hey, wait. As he exited the stand as Naruto was gone. What the hell? But he never looked up. If he did, he would see the amused face of Naruto. Damn it. How does he do that? What kind of ability was it? Sasuke thought to himself. When they arrived towards Training Ground 7, they saw Naruto waiting for them. Alright, speak. How the hell did you get here? Do what? Said Naruto. Sasuke was losing his patience, but Kakashi arrived at exactly the time that he told them, as he couldn't afford to be late after the talking that he was given. Yo, he said. Hey, said Naruto. You arrived just on time. Of course I arrived just on time. Do you expect me not to? As Naruto chuckled a bit, I guess seeing that you're being coerced with something bad would give you a boost in your step, I presume. So then, said Naruto, shall we get on with this test? Kakashi didn't step away from them, as he said nothing. What's the test? Asked Sakura. Oh yes, I forgot to mention that. As the three of them sweat dropped at that. Really? You didn't remember that you did not tell us what the test was? Well, forgive me, it slipped my mind. Here's your objective, he said, as he pulled out 3 bells. 3. It's quite simple. Kill me and retrieve these bells from my corpse, he said. But guys, it'll be in subs right here. If you want to see the next person to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.